Dalvin Cook signing his contract with the New York Jets. We got the full contract. I read the whole thing. I broke it all down and figured out what's in there. There's a base salary of $1.08 million that's fully guaranteed. And there's a lot of money that is tied up in him actually being available to play. A total of $5.92 million that gets paid out per week for him to either be on the 46-man game day roster, or $4.7 million of it is tied to him being either on the active roster, inactive roster, injured reserve, physically unable to perform list, which implies maybe that shoulder won't be ready to go by week one. But $4.7 million split up by week that gives the Jets protection against a potential suspension. That was the big takeaway. Another general manager, when he saw the details, said they're expecting a suspension. The way this is structured, they're expecting something's going to come from that domestic violence civil lawsuit that is still percolating out there. When you look at the structure, it's impossible not to see that the Jets are setting up advanced protection for themselves against the possibility that he's going to be on the suspended list.
Yeah, they're covering themselves or just in case and what may happen. I think that's smart. Suspension. We know shoulder issue has become a problem. And, maybe this looming possible suspension and where this goes is part of the reason there wasn't maybe more suitors or more teams more serious about throwing, getting Dalvin Cook. I don't really know, but I mean, either way, Mike, if he doesn't get suspended and he doesn't play, we're still talking like he's going to get around $7 million for the year if he's healthy and plays the majority of the year, and then of course some incentives as far as the statistics on top of that to where he can have a good payday. We'll see where he goes. It's kind of crazy this whole thing he's got going off the field. It is flying very under the radar.
To get the $7 million, and it gets called the base package, but to get the $7 million, he's got to be in uniform every single game. That gets him to the $7 million.
Right.
Now, the extra $1.62 million, he's got to have 1,250 yards rushing to get $400,000, 1,500 yards from scrimmage to get another $400,000. And then if he gets 1,250 yards from scrimmage and they make the playoffs, he gets $205,000 for every postseason win, up to another $820,000. So that's how he gets to $8.62 million. They have to win the Super Bowl, and he has to be in uniform for every game, and he has to rush for 1,250 yards, and he has to have 1,500 yards from scrimmage to get the full $8.62 million. That's how it happens. But the Jets have the protection against the potential for a suspension. This is not a normal contract. It wouldn't have been prepared this way but for the fact that they recognize that there is going to be a potential suspension, and this contract was drafted and negotiated and structured, Chris, to protect the Jets against that possibility. And I think that Cook was inclined to maybe wait for something better, for something structured differently. But once Ezekiel Elliott takes his deal worth up to $3 million or $6 million, that's when Cook realized, I believe, I better take what I can get before it disappears.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't. And two, at some point you just got to make a decision and sign on the dotted line and go, let's start getting ready for football, and let me make sure I can put myself in the best possible position. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We know they got a player as far as a guy that can contribute and help them out in the football team in a lot of ways. Let's see if he can stay on that field.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.